What's up, guys, and welcome to day 6 of 12 Days of YouTube. Today I'm going to be answering a question that I get a lot, and that is, what is the best Ultimus VII raid team? So the new top 5 teams tier list infographic is already plotted out. I have to actually do the graphic design, which is going to take a couple of days because it's a really big graphic, a lot of moving parts, and it probably won't happen until just after the 12 Days of YouTube wrap up. But I am happy to answer what I believe to be the top raid team for Ultimus VII. Now, a couple details about that. Firstly, it's very much still in flux. There's a generally agreed upon core of the best Ultimus VII raid team, and then people use several different substitutes, but a lot of the high-end players are still trying to figure out what works best. And also, it is a bit roster dependent in terms of who you have good red stars on, who you have a good amount of T4s invested into. It's a little bit different, but generally it looks like this. So you're gonna use Storm in some capacity. For example, the first node's already done. I just use that to charge up Storm. So I just throw in a bunch of tanks and healers and kind of stall, get Storm a bunch of charges, and she can be used at a later date, kind of as in case of emergency, push Storm button. And you can also run an X-Men team to do the second half of a node, something like that. But forgetting Storm for a second, the core of the primary team, pretty much everyone uses Ultron, and then just about everyone is using Minn-Erva and Scientist Supreme. Firstly, because both those characters can revive, and if one of them dies, one can even revive the other. Scientist Supreme effectively makes your team mostly debuff immune, which is very, very useful. Minn-Erva does percentage max health damage, which is great against really strong enemies. And so it's a good healing core, and then you've got the Ultron bots, which can also heal. After that core, you'll see a good amount of people using Sue Storm and or Shuri, who are both just really, really spectacular solo support characters. And then there's usually a variable 5th spot. A lot of people will use either Vision or Falcon or Captain Marvel or Hela or Mr. Sinister. So it definitely depends a bit on your roster, but generally there's like 10 to 12 characters that it makes sense to use in Ultimus VII, and most people will use a core of Ultron, Minn-Erva, and Scientist Supreme, and then 2 others to kind of balance it out based on what their roster looks like. So I actually use 2 different teams. I have a team for quickly and efficiently dealing with a node, and then I have a team for definitely not wiping on a boss node, although I might have to 2-shot that boss node. So I'll go ahead and show you those teams today, so let's get into it. So we'll start off on this node here, and this was the team I was using to get Storm all charged up, and we'll go ahead and grab my first raid team right here. So this is my preferred Ultimus VII raid team for non-boss nodes. It's got the Ultron, Minn-Erva, Scientist Supreme, and then it has Vision and Hela. Vision gives the defense up on spawn to the tech characters, and if he dies and gets revived, he gives everyone 2-turn defense up again. He's got Dispel, he's got an AoE, lots of offense down on his basics, and a really good combo you can pull off. Vision can ability block just before Hela goes, and then Hela can ult and ability block an entire wave, so it's really, really effective. And you kind of prevent timing out because of the double AoEs. You've got the Vision AoE and the Hela AoE, so it helps to kind of keep hitting them with somewhat low cooldown AoEs to eventually finish them off. So the generally accepted strategy for Ultimus VII is to set up the node properly, let auto fight do the bulk of it because otherwise you'll time out, and then jump in towards the end and try to make sure that you manage your cooldowns properly going into the next node. So, gonna go after Juggernaut here, and you'll get to see the Hela Vision combo. Oh, also, Greg is an excellent reason to have Hela on this team, because he'll keep rewinding enemy turn meter. But so you can see you've got the ability block right there, and then Hela will spread that, and you're in good shape. So we'll get the Ultron bots down here. It does look like Hela's in some trouble. I can save her, but I don't mind. So if Hela dies while Greg is still on the field, that gives me an opportunity to get double Gregs, because Hela will spawn a new Greg when she respawns. So I don't mind if they kill Hela if I can bring her back while the original Greg is still alive and get the double Greg going on. But it looks like she's gonna be fine, so I don't even have to create that opportunity. So take out Juggernaut, and then I'm gonna go ahead and throw it on auto fight here and let them get through the bulk of the node. So there you have Scientist Supreme turning all the red into a nice lovely shade of green. take out Doctor Strange before he does the same thing. Now, there actually is a strategy where you can take advantage of them. I don't need to do it for this node, but you can let Strange wins you and give you a lot of debuffs. Then you can let Scarlet extend all those debuffs, and then you can let Scientist Supreme turn them into positive effects, and then you'll have positive effects that last a very long time. That vision dodge on the Ultron Ultimate was unfortunate, but he still got the energy back, so that's okay. So, a generally good practice is to get everyone kind of low and then start finishing them off, and that way, you know, you'll only have so many enemies dropping in, and you can keep enemies dying, because if you just focus out one person, leave everyone else with full health, more enemies will drop in, and then you'll have to be dealing with a large number of enemies with full health. But so far, it looks like everyone's doing pretty well, except some Ultron bots are getting hit pretty hard. Scientist Supreme, again, being wonderful. If you're wondering what T4s I have on this team, by the way, I have Hela's ult T4'd. I have everything on Ultron T4'd, and I'm pretty sure that's it. I don't think I have any T4s on Scientist Supreme or Vision or Minn-Erva. So, not too many T4s actually invested. Again, just the ultimate on Hela. I do eventually want to get the passive on Hela, I just haven't done it yet. But I do think it should be done. And then Ultron is obviously gimme. So now that there's 4 enemies left, I'm gonna, alright, now there's 3 enemies left. So now I'm gonna take it off auto, and I'm gonna try to make sure that everyone's cooldowns are where I want them going into the next match. So 2 more turns, 1 more turn now for Minn-Erva, and then she'll have everything up. Scientist Supreme has everything up. Vision needs a few more turns, but his cooldowns aren't as critical. Alright, so Ultron, we need to do this to get the 4 energy, and then he'll need 1 more turn before he can summon. I think he'll get ability energy from one of his bots if one of those bots is on the field. Alright, so Scientist Supreme is in good shape. Alright, good. So he can summon and we'll get his buffs extended. So it looks like just Vision is not in great shape with his cooldowns, and that's it. And that's not really a problem. So, as you can see, the team handled that node really well. I think everyone's walking away with full health. The only person that I really care to make sure they're at full health is Ultron, because he won't revive if he's not, so just make sure, and he is full. But like Hela missing a tiny fraction of health, not a big deal. So that's the first node. So this is a boss node, and so I'll go ahead and show you the other team here. A lot of times my lane partner does this node. I've done this node before, but I don't pay that much attention to it, because a lot of times I'll just use one of these teams and auto fight it. So I don't remember the specific details of it, but I'll go ahead and use this team, which serves me really well for other boss nodes. So just know that it's possible that we will time out, but this is the team that I use for boss nodes, and it's very safe. And so even if I have to 2-shot this node, it's very rare that this team will wipe. I mean, with truly horrendous RNG, it can happen, but it should be just fine. And I saw a post on Reddit, someone called this Ultron's Angels. I think Ultron's Angels is a great name for this team because it's Ultron and then 4 lovely ladies. Scientist Supreme and Minn-Erva, lovely ladies, depending on how you feel. But yeah, I like the name Ultron's Angels. And for the other team that I'm using, which is the core and then Hela and Vision, I just call that Helavision. I don't believe I originated either of these teams. We've seen a lot of people throwing around similar teams, things like Tech Wing and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, so I don't give me credit for coming up with these teams. These are just the teams that people have been throwing around, and based on all my testing, these work the best for me. So it's the Helavision team normally, and the Ultron's Angels on the boss nodes here. So we'll go ahead and set up Captain Marvel. I like ulting a character like Daredevil because he can't dodge. Unfortunate that they went after Minn-Erva first. Minn-Erva actually got hit really hard there. Very unfortunate. Let's get these Ultron bots on the field ASAP. Normally I would use the Scientist Supreme ultimate, but I want to make sure to save Minn-Erva, so I'll do that. And then we've got them offense down, which is the important part, so we'll go ahead and do that. And then we can actually, it's okay now to use the Scientist Supreme ultimate in the other order because we have Sue, who will remove the debuffs. So I think we're set up now. I'll go ahead and put it on auto fight. Oh, that was unfortunate. Man, they really just do not want Minn-Erva on the field here. Well, we've got her in stealth now, so she should be okay. But yeah, the Iron Fist healing on that Daredevil was pretty unfortunate, but I think this team's gonna pull through. Alright, so the timing did not work out great with the Scientist Supreme ultimate, but that's okay. This team handles being debuffed pretty well. The Vision special hit an Ultron bot, that's good. So again, this team may time out, but what shouldn't happen is they shouldn't wipe. So I don't mind double hitting boss nodes. You know, we get more energy than we need because we're not currently able to 100% Ultima 7. All right. So far, so good. As soon as you see Punisher, you want to take him out immediately because Ultron, all the Ultron bots, and Minn-Erva are all villains. And yeah, you don't want someone absolutely massacring them. They're pretty integral to the team. Looks like he will be taken out before Captain America taunts, which is good. This is a situation I kind of try to avoid, which is having a ton of enemies on the field with a good amount of health, but that's okay. Once Scientist Supreme hits him with the debuffs, we're not going to take too much damage because we've lessened their damage. So the way the math works out, I get asked this a lot. So if an individual character has offense up and offense down, it's the same as if they have neither. And that is also true if an individual character has defense up and defense down, it's the same as them not having either. However, an enemy with offense down hitting into your character with defense down will not be the same one for one. The attacker will deal slightly less damage in both instances. In an instance where the attacker has the offense down hitting into a defense down, and in an instance where the attacker has an offense up hitting into a defense up, in both of those instances, the attacker will do slightly less damage than they normally would, just because of the order of operations of the calculation. So as soon as we put offense down on the enemies, even if I'm also putting defense down on my own team, that is still an overall damage reduction that we've created, which is good. So as you can see, this team is pretty safe. They just took the Punisher AoE and everyone is still alive. So we're starting to run out of time here, and I do want to make sure everyone's cooldowns are okay. So I'm gonna take it off auto here in just a sec. All right, and let's see what we can do with cooldowns here, because we want to make sure we're in good shape going into the next node. All right, so Sue gets rewound. All right, so Ultron can summon, so he doesn't need to do anything there. All right, those are the Ultron bots. All right, so Scientist Supreme is about to have everything available, so Scientist Supreme is now good. I didn't even see Captain Marvel, I just hit the basic, but that's okay. All right, Minn-Erva has everything available, that's good. Sue will have her special, but she's not even close on her ult, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Especially because I usually only bring out Sue for nodes like this, which are boss nodes. So I have to see where Captain Marvel is at, but Captain Marvel has a charge and is going into the next node in binary. And some people ask me about that, how does it work? Captain Marvel can remain in binary going into the next node, but what'll happen is her binary will wear off almost immediately after she takes a single turn. And no matter how many charges she has, it will immediately drop to one charge, and then that one charge will be consumed and converted into a regen. So that's where it's at. But all right, so we'll go ahead and hit this Bleeding Love node, which means it's time to bring back the Helavision team. And again, you can see everyone finished with full health, so that worked out really well. Again, not thrilled about the Sue ult being on a slightly longer cooldown, but because all the other safety cooldowns are in place, that should be okay. So we'll bring back out the Helavision team and let's see. It's usually after this node that it starts to get into moderately shaky territory, but again, it's very roster dependent. It's based on what kind of red stars you're working with, how strong your characters are. I mean, at the end of the day, my alliance is in the top 50 alliances in the entire game, and we would have to make a concentrated effort to push to get 60% in this raid. And I haven't talked to people in the number 1 and number 2 alliances super recently, but last time I spoke to them, the people that were 100%ing Ultima 7 were spending a large amount of cores each time, and it wasn't a great trade. All right, so Ultron getting ability blocked is actually a really, really unfortunate start to this node. Fortunately, that single target ability was aimed at Greg the God. All right, we'll go ahead and land that Dispel. I can actually give Ultron a death proof here, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw the debuffs down on them, see if we can nerf their damage a bit. All right, that was a good dodge by Vision. Unfortunately, Ultron was just killed and his revive was just forced, but that's okay. Now we'll go ahead and drop this. The reason I put a disrupt on him was so I wouldn't have to deal with his pesky taunt. So I think we're in a position now where I can throw this in auto fight and let them coast for a bit. Ultron just ulted with only a single positive effect, which is a bummer, but I believe he's gonna summon next turn, so that should help him get some energy back. I actually want to take out Scarlet Witch here. Alright, Greg sacrifices himself and puts some bleeds on her. We got the slow and the defense down. Perfect. The Ultron bots have arrived. And now we're in pretty decent shape. That said, this node does take a little bit to get through. We should be able to one-shot it, but because I was a bit slow with my start, we'll see. Alright, there's the Hela ult. The target of the Hela ult was a terrible target. I should have been paying attention. If I'd realized that she was going to ult right there, I would have targeted the Hand Assassin and spread a bunch of debuffs. So that was unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Vision was revived by Minn-Erva. Greg was killed again, which is just continuing to reduce enemy speed bar, which is great. Okay, there's another kill for Ultron. Alright, Korath wastes that on an Ultron summon. I'm okay with that. Hela gets another kill. Alright, coat them in debuffs. The second Drax has arrived. Alright, that was actually a really good Drax chain for them, but I don't think it's going to matter enough. Alright, this time Ultron gets a bit more energy back. Ultron has a death proof from that bot dying. Alright, Minn-Erva is now against the ropes. Unfortunately, every buff on Minn-Erva got flipped except the heal block. I really need to put some T4s in my Scientist Supreme because heal block flips in a death proof, and then being villain tech, Ultron would continue to give Minn-Erva additional stacks of death proof. So that was just really unfortunate, but what can you do? Alright, Ultron has been stunned. It's unfortunate that so much of this has to be done on auto fight because of the timeout, so Minn-Erva is actually dead right now. Scientist Supreme can and hopefully will revive, but there's only 4 enemies left, so I'm going to take it off auto fight now, and hopefully we get lucky. Oh, there it is. Scientist Supreme has revived Minn-Erva. Now I have an interesting decision here. I'll go ahead and use this ult. It'll probably mean the ult will be on cooldown for the next node, but that extra healing saved Minn-Erva, as you can see, which allowed her to ult, which again, I would have preferred to save her ult for the following node as well, but it's keeping her clinging to life, so we do what we must. All right, he's got enough buffs, so this will get his ability to summon back. All right, Hela's not doing great on cooldowns, so we're really short on cooldowns going to the next node. Not the ideal situation, but everyone is gonna walk away from this node pretty healthy, so can't complain about that. We'll go ahead and sacrifice Greg here. And it looks like Minn-Erva's the only one really missing any health, and Ultron will be able to summon, so we're okay there. So, yeah, so all in all, not too shabby. Still able to one-shot the node, but definitely in a compromised position going into the next node. But we do have a charged up Storm from the first node that I did before the recording. So this node in particular is a pain in the butt, not because it's very, very difficult to beat, but rather because it's called tanks, and appropriately so. All these characters have so much health. I've only managed to actually one-shot this node like 2 or 3 times, and I have to sacrifice a few people to pull it off. Yeah, they just have so much health. It's far more common for me to 2-shot the node. So that's my current plan. I'll go ahead and 2-shot the node. So I'll bring back out the Ultron's Angels team. I'll treat it like a boss node, even though it's not. And yeah, we'll go ahead and play it safe And yeah, this node just takes a while. It's a pain in the butt, really. That's all there is to it. Again, not because it's particularly difficult. I don't really worry that my team is going to wipe. Every once in a while they do, but it's pretty rare. But yeah, it's just this node takes like 8 minutes, even on auto fight with my top teams. So that's why I call it a pain in the butt, because it just forces me to endure it. All right, and they of course immediately go after Minn-Erva, because why wouldn't they? Alright, we do at least kill the Fury summons, which gets her a bit of a heal, and we get the Ultron summons on the field. I think I will go ahead and, okay, that worked out, and then we'll go ahead and hide Minn-Erva, so that's good. And I think we're in a position where we can throw this in auto fight here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in auto fight. It might be a little early and a little risky for that, but again, this node's almost certainly going to need to be two-shot anyway, so we'll do what we can. Alright, we've hit them with a bunch of debuffs. Summon a couple more Ultron bots. And now it's just kind of the symphony of auto fight. We got rid of the crossbones. Now I have no choice but to be attacking the Captain America. I would actually prefer to take out the Trooper first, because more troopers drop down on this node, and shield troopers are very overlooked in terms of characters that I think don't get the respect they deserve. Shield trooper these days just continues to impress me. I have a war defense team with shield trooper on it, and the team is basically designed so that everyone appears to be more important to kill than shield trooper, and they get tons of defense wins because shield troopers actually put out a lot of damage. So I like to go after them right away, because if I do wipe on this node, it will be because I was not able to take out the shield troopers and got stuck attacking everyone else. I'd literally rather take an offensed up crossbones AoE than fail to get the shield trooper. But yeah, so you can see this team is holding it together pretty well. The barrier on Minn-Erva from Sue is really helpful. And you can see, although 2 of the units on the field are Fury summons, we're almost halfway done with the node in terms of timing out, and we're at 13 out of 14 here. And again, one's a Fury summon, so we've killed 2 units, but this whole node is just one big runaround with a bunch of tanks. It is just, it's a long node. Alright, Ultron doing good with getting his energy back. There's that shield trooper doing some serious damage to Minn-Erva, but she ults and gets a lot of health back there. Alright, at this point I am going to finish off that armored guard just because he's low. Alright, now we want to finish that shield trooper. Unfortunately, Minn-Erva bites the dust, so this could be a dangerous situation here. It's actually worth keeping an eye on, because if it looks like Scientist Supreme is going to go down and then we definitely can't bring Minn-Erva back, then it'll actually make sense, since I'm planning on two-shotting this node anyway, it'll make sense to back out. But, oh, alright, Minn-Erva's already back, I didn't even see. Alright, so Scientist Supreme has already brought Minn-Erva back. So, yeah, that's really good, and that's why people run the double reviver, because if anyone else goes down, Minn-Erva will immediately bring them back, and then you even have a contingency plan if Minn-Erva goes down. If Ultron goes down, he'll bring himself back. Alright, so Minn-Erva went down again. Unfortunate. I don't think there was anything that could be done, and doubly unfortunate that she went down right before the Sue special, but that's okay. Alright, so Ultron went down as well, so it might make sense at this point to back out. So I'm gonna see where everyone's cooldowns are at, see what we've got, but now that we're down to 3, well, if that. Alright, so yeah, so with these guys low, yeah, every once in a while this node gets a little messy, so I will go ahead and quit out, and I'll have to revive, at the very least, Ultron and Minn-Erva. But yeah, this shouldn't be too bad, and I can actually use another team to clean that up, so I didn't see where their cooldowns were. So let's take a look. We'll go ahead and revive Ultron and Minn-Erva, and then we'll heal these two. And I don't think we need to heal Captain Marvel, and should be fine. Debating if I want to bring out the charged up Storm, but I don't think so. I think we can jump right back into it and have an easy 2-tap of this node. All in all, not too shabby, and I mean those are the first recharges I've had to use, so it's not bad. I think the Scientist Supreme was bugged at 30. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 20, but. Alright, so we're back. And, oh, are there still 9 enemies remaining? Alright, for some reason, oh, okay, because 2 of them were summoned. That's what I thought. Okay, so there's only 7 actual enemies remaining. And, so we want to go ahead and set this up properly. I hope, alright, good. So Ultron can summon, so we're good there. We'll go ahead and coat them with debuffs. And then Sue will go ahead and give everyone, including the summons, barrier. I think we're gonna get an easy pick on the soldier. Oh, perhaps not. And so not only do we have the storm for a node, but we also have the in case of emergency break glass for Phoenix. And Phoenix can pretty much be used to get herself killed on one particular node, but she's either going to clear that node or get you a good amount through that node. So between the charged up Storm and still having the Phoenix on retainer, it's pretty much an insurance policy that I'll be able to do at least one more node. If I find myself in that position where I'm like, all right, we need to do one more node, then that's where I'll be. So this has not been my cleanest run of Ultimus VII, but it's gone okay. Again, they do manage to take out Minn-Erva. I don't know why, they are just really going after Minn-Erva today, which is unfortunate. Scientist Supreme can bring her back, but I certainly don't want to double, or rather, I certainly don't want to have to triple tap this node. And actually, given how low Scientist Supreme is, I'm starting to feel a bit concerned. Fortunately, the Sue special puts a single Ultron bot out in the open. Go ahead and steal that, and we're just, oh man, waiting on Scientist Supreme to revive Minn-Erva, ideally. Alright, the Minn-Erva has been revived. We'll go ahead and debuff them. Alright. So far, so good. Turn meter rewind there. Okay, break that taunt. Kill that for another heal. Kill this summon for another heal. Alright, Captain Marvel doing Captain Marvel things. Man, the assault AoEs here are brutal. Oh, especially with the Fury buffs like that. Alright, but we can flip all these, and now we're in decent shape. I think, yeah, alright, all 5 characters that we brought in are still alive. Go ahead and Ultron ult that assault. And I think we'll be fine here. That Crossbones is getting low. We got more Ultron bots. Alright, Crossbones is down. So now I'll just focus on this assault. Yeah, I'll go ahead and use that. Just better safe than sorry. I certainly don't want to have to triple tap this node, so. While I don't like having a big cooldown like that down going into the next node, it's fine. Alright. Got that. Got more healing. And another thing I really like about this team is that they heal up a lot. Alright, Ultron's gonna get 7 energy from that. But yeah, they heal up a lot. Once they have the upper hand and they're ready to close out the node, they have a lot of passive healing. So, alright. Minn-Erva will have all her cooldowns, excellent. Scientist Supreme will have all her cooldowns, excellent. Ultron will have all his cooldowns, excellent. Sue will at least have the special, so that's good. And yeah, I didn't see where Captain Marvel is at, but Captain Marvel has a bunch of charges if nothing else, so yeah. All in all, finished in pretty good shape, so a couple revives to get this far, but yeah, not too shabby. And again, still have the Phoenix and the Storm in the chamber. So I'm not sure if I want to cut the video here, if I want to do one more node. I'm sure people watching are screaming, one more node, do the boss node. So I guess we'll do the boss node. This node can be one shot. I'll go ahead and pay the 100 power cores here. I had to buy energy from earlier. I was slacking in raid earlier and joined late. So I'll go ahead and hit this node, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use an X-Men hybrid for this one because we have Storm and Phoenix. So I'll go ahead and use Colossus. So we're just gonna bring in Ultron and Minn-Erva and see if we can one-shot this node. And yeah, I don't need to heal Minn-Erva there, so I won't. I know they've been just going after her like crazy, so maybe this is a mistake. Maybe they'll take her out, and I wish I healed her, but yeah, you know, they don't call me Khasino for nothing. We'll take a chance. And if you're wondering, I would trust both the Helavision team and the Ultron's Angels to two-shot this node. I only grabbed the Phoenix and Storm to see if I could one-shot this node. I'm not super confident in whether or not I'll be able to one-shot this node, but I did want to attempt it. And of course, they immediately hit Minn-Erva because they absolutely hate Minn-Erva today. And so a common strategy is to use the Storm Special to open up with, and that way you can set up Ultron while all the enemies are stunned. But all right, well, this is good. They've actually already summoned Dark Phoenix, and I like that because now I might be able to one-shot this node with Phoenix being the only casualty. So let's see what we can do here. Can you take out BP? Yes, excellent. All right. In that case, I will save the Storm Special for as soon as more enemies drop down. And once there's more enemies on the field, I will lock everyone up. I will unleash the Phoenix ult, and we'll see if we can clear this node. So just waiting for more enemies. Go ahead and do this. I have not used the special because people don't need the healing or the regen yet. Alright, let's get some more Ultron bots on the field. We'll go ahead and have him taunting, so he's going to be nice and secure now. Alright, ult rocket. Okay, and that should, I believe, trigger more people on the field once our rotation is done. If it doesn't, okay, see, there they are, perfect. So now we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people on the field. So we are in a good position to let her rip. So here's the Dark Phoenix ult. Excellent. And then we'll kill one more. All right, now we've got 7 of the 10 on the field here. And now we're gonna unleash the Storm Special. Now, based on the charges, I could Storm ult. I do have 14 charges, so you know what? Although the Storm Special is the safer play, I think just for fun, we'll go ahead and let the Storm ult loose. Let's see what kind of damage numbers we get here. Well, certainly not bad damage numbers there. And plenty of healing getting done. We'll go ahead and use the basic here just to strip that taunt. And we'll go ahead and take out both infectors with that special. And it looks like I will be able to one-shot this node. I gave up some storm charges, and I gave up a Phoenix, which I did not have to use for this node. I was just showing you how impactful it can be if you've kept those things in the chamber for use for a later node. But yeah. All right. And yeah, now I just want to keep an eye on cooldowns because this team is not really a threat to us anymore. So, well, I guess I didn't really need to press that, but that's okay. I don't normally use Colossus as my primary tank in this raid, so that's okay. All right, one more turn for Minn-Erva and she'll have her ultimate. All right, Phoenix clears that. More charges for Storm. All right, speed up. Thank you for rewinding Colossus's turn meter. I'm fine with him taunting for as long as possible. Ultron is already able to summon. That's where we want him going into the next node. So Minn-Erva just got all of her cooldowns. So now we just beat up on Drax and charge Storm. And yeah, that's literally it. It's a cakewalk from here. And if I wanted to run this comp again, I wouldn't have the fully charged Storm, but You can also, if you want to keep reviving Phoenix, you can just keep running Kamikaze Phoenix, and that's usually good for a node at least. But alright. I guess I could have used her special there since she's dead anyway, but not a big deal. Most people are going to walk away from this pretty healthy. Alright, he still has his ultimate, and there's one more Minn-Erva heal. So yeah, not too shabby. Everyone is going to walk away with pretty good health, except for Phoenix, of course, but she knew what she was getting into. So, there you have it. Just some general advice on how to approach Ultimus VII, some tips and tricks. Let's see, that was the first node, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was 6 nodes so far in Ultimus VII. And yeah, I use a lot of the same strategies going forward. Again, I personally don't push too hard. I'm okay with my alliance getting about 50% right now. We're gonna start actively pushing to hit the 60% mark after the new year, but for the time being, that is what I'm working with. So yeah, you've got, in conclusion, you've got the Helavision team, which is Ultron, Minn-Erva, Scientist Supreme, and then Hela and Vision. And I use those for non-boss nodes. And then you've got the Ultron's Angels, which someone came up with on Reddit, which is Captain Marvel and Invisible Woman with Ultron, Scientist Supreme, and Minn-Erva. And then I will also occasionally use Storm and the Phoenix Colossus combo, not always on the same node, but you can bring out the Phoenix Colossus combo and the charged up Storm from the first node if there's a particular node that you absolutely need to take down. And that is what I'm currently using. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any other suggestions or questions or anything, leave them in the comments. And there will, of course, be a Power Core giveaway on this video. All right, so if you'd like to enter for $10 worth of Power Cores, go ahead and let me know in the comment section below, what node of Ultimus VII do you find the most difficult? So yeah, just let me know in the comments below what node you find the absolute toughest in Ultimus VII. Maybe I'll make a guide on how to take down that node. Otherwise, thank you very much for checking this video out. I will see you guys tomorrow with another brand new Marvel Strike Force video. And of course, anyone is welcome to join my Discord server, discord.gg/Khasino. We got blitz predictions, infographics, videos, data mines, content creator Q&A, and more. So yeah, anyone's welcome to come check it out. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. Until then, peace!